Welcome back again, friends, to Tactical Enlightenment. This channel is dedicated to showing you not only the most titanic battles in Bannerlord, but also demonstrating advanced battlefield tactics and field command to help you dominate your own game. Alright friends, welcome back to another episode of Tactical Enlightenment. The campaign is running to its nadir. We're running to the hardest stage of the campaign. I've just had to fight my way through multiple serious fights to get back to our capital, Epicrotia, that's under siege. Our army is wounded, there are hardly any reinforcements coming, and the situation is dire. In the north, we were able to take two cities, Varnavapel and Balgard, as well as hold a castle up there. And I had to fight my way through a nasty force at the river, and then right off the shores here of Epicrotia. As you can see, a lot of my companions are injured. Some of our critical troops are injured. We're going to recruit any last second prisoner here before we face whatever force is attacking our citadel. The Citadel has a large defense force, almost 1,200 people, and they're not actually attacking it. They're actually besieging it. They're trying to starve out the people there. So, I mean, you tell me how many troops are there. At this stage, the enemy is just, look at them just flocking to our keep. If you don't know, my campaign is at war with all eight kingdoms at the same time, and so they are all effectively attacking us seemingly at the same time. So we're gonna come in here and see how many this is and decide whether or not we want to get in the keep, try to defend, or do something else. And there's, oh shit!
I've caught you. Don't try any
what the
tricks.
fuck?
Anything to say?
I just got ambushed. Look how many there are here. Oh, look how many lords there are. Holy fuck. And I can't... So they attacked us. So we have to fight now. Wow. How many is this? Holy shit. Look, it's a rainbow coalition across the whole screen. I don't know how that happened, but it's like they were all just organizing here to besiege the keep. I'll have to look at that later on, but it looked like all of a sudden they just attacked. Usually that's not the normal behavior, so don't have much choice. Look how many lords there are, 13 panels, and we have to attack, so in we go. This is gonna be, I don't know, impossible is the maybe that's the wrong word. Oh, it's fucking pouring. This is epic. This bridge gives us a chance to defend, and maybe, just maybe, if we can use this bridge and this hill here, this fucking thunder and lightning, it's like an epic, it sure feels like an epic final battle. We shall see. Obviously we can't retreat. They attacked us. So we're gonna move some troops around here. I'm gonna try to get my units organized in the best possible way. What do we have? 50? I wasn't even allowed to look at how many units we had there. I wasn't allowed to upgrade anybody. This is the very definition of being ambushed. So we're gonna use the 7th Corps here. I'm gonna use these horse archers. Some of them have bows, but most of those guys actually have shields. You can see it's mostly heavy cav. I'm gonna use them as a shield protection wall for this Britannian Fiend Champ tranche. I actually have a lot of archers, and that's very good for the defense that we're going to try to make here. My 6th Corps there, placing it up on the hill, 3rd Cav below, and then I'm going to stretch the 8th Corps down here on the right. My idea, of course, with all bridge defenses is to try to get flanking / enfilade fire on the enemy, right? Enfilade is where you're shooting them from the side. In this case, it's both sides. So I'm hoping these horse archers can absorb some of the arrows from the enemy archers. They're undoubtedly going to have horse archers. Seems like every fucking kingdom in the whole realm is in this battle against us. I've got my 2nd Cav. I'm going to be using them to charge and block up the bridge. The 3rd Cav is just a very small unit there. We're going to use them to sort of attack units and defend against charging Cav. And then, like I said, my 8th Corps here on the right. Stretch them out a little bit.
Whoa!
Here you go, boys. We're gonna need every single ounce of your fucking fighting power today. I think I had 1,500, and I think we're up against. Maybe it wasn't 10,000, 9,600, 9,700. It's a ridiculous amount of enemies. Here they come. Look at it, it's almost all cav. I mean, not all cav, but they have a lot of heavy cav. What I want to do in this situation is let some of their units get onto the bridge. I want them to commit, and then when they do, we're going to bottle it up. At this stage, I can open fire. They're close enough. And when they start to cross, we're going to try to jam it up and create a fucking traffic jam of death. So in go the 2nd Corps. I'm going to try to support them here. I'll be throwing a lot of javelins early on. The 6th Corps is close enough to be able to hit them with javelins as well. They got so many lords. What was it, 14 pages of lords? So we're going to be killing fucking lords here early on. Look at how nicely they're jamming up the bridge. I've got to be mindful of ammunition in a battle like this. There's a balance here. I need them to be killing as many people as they can, but at the same time, you know, this is going to be an incredibly long fight. If we have any chance of winning, this will probably be an hour-and-a-half fight, at least an hour fight. Taking out lords left and right with my javelins here. I may have to get the 6th and 8th Corps ready to charge here. They're already starting to push through. I just don't have enough cav to really slow down this behemoth force. Fuck you. The 8th Corps on the right. I can use both of these 2 different corps, mow down their lords here. I can use both of these 2 different corps to cinch in on the enemy as they attack. But this is going to be some ferocious hand-to-hand here. I'm spreading them out on the right here so that we have angular attacks on the enemy. Can't get them too involved yet, though. I want these guys attacking in concentration. Look at how many infantry are coming. Fuck. Now it's time to charge. I've got no choice but to just, I'm just trying to kill everything in sight. I'm just fucking surrounded. Let's get the fuck out of there. I can hear my companions getting dropped. We're gonna have to fight like mad dogs here. We must have at least 130, 140 battalion fiend champs. That's going to help enormously in the early stages of this battle. The enemy has tough troops, though. These guys are fucking tough. I mean, a lot of these guys are taking 2 or 3 hits to kill. And they're still coming. This is not a good sign. Usually we can wipe out the initial wave fast. They're starting to send archers with their infantry. In we go. Fuck you. That guy took a huge blow. Die, motherfucker. Hey, you want some too? Fuck you. We're gonna be swearing this episode. Like all episodes will be swearing, but this episode feels like our whole kingdom is at stake here. Can stretch out my 7th Corps on the right flank. I might be able to use them to charge. Hey, look at their archers are charging with shields up. Time to send in these battalion fiend champs. I've already seen the enemy sending battalion Fianchamps of their own. So it's not like we have all elite troops and they have scrubs. They've got elite troops. I've got this cav group here in a square trying to distract some of this infantry coming in so that we can pick them off from the sides. I'm going to start flanking over here. I like to use the right flank in a situation like this because I know the enemy is going to be leaning towards the other side. In other words, they'll be taking the quickest route to our archers. Now heavy cav is coming in. It's just like a continuous onslaught of the enemy here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to jam the bridge up again. Must have killed 7-8 nobles already. There's another fucking noble. These guys just don't die. God, with the lightning, it's fucking epic. It feels epic. I almost never have battles in lightning, too. It's almost like the game knows that this is an incredibly important battle. I've never won a battle, though, where we were outnumbered like this, where we outnumbered 7-8 to 1. It's something ridiculous. I'm a javelin, you fuck. Alright, so I do have some calves sort of blocking the bridge. We've stemmed the tide for the moment, but I don't think our archers have many arrows. We're going to have to use these Battanian Fianchamps. You'll see me do this a lot. We're going to have to use them with the meat shield of heavy cav in front and try to drive in on the enemy when they attack. The problem at this stage, if you can imagine what's going on, these guys are, a lot of them are out of ammunition, so they can pick up arrows that are on the ground, but that means a lot of my archers are just standing there being pelted, and the enemy is just standing on the other side. It's actually ideal tactics for them because they have ammunition, they have reinforcements, they can keep shooting at us, and I can't counter it. I mean, am I supposed to charge 900, 800 guys with our 100? I mean, I don't know. I'm struggling. I'm going through my bag of tricks, so to speak, of tactics to pull off in this battle, and I'm very limited. I may have to use this hillside here and bring him down. I might have to even charge, just literally charge across the bridge. The options for me are not good. Of course, I can come in and cause some carnage, but I can't kill thousands of troops. Right? I'm going to have some tactical advantages to have any chance of winning this battle. I've got a handful of hardy companions that are still left. I can see the arrows raining in on these guys, and they're all holding their swords. These guys are either out of ammunition, or the handful of guys that are on fire don't have line of sight. I've got all the ammunition I need, but these guys, they're now very minor hazard to the enemy. I'm going to have to use them offensively somehow. Still got 5 or 6 companions on horses up here. It's not very many. I think we're going to have to actually... I'm either going to charge... I wish the enemy would charge. They're actually, tactically, a lot of times the enemy makes some dubious decisions, but this is a good decision. They have ammunition, and so they're in no hurry to attack us. They're just shooting at us from across the way. They've got a handful of cav here sort of jousting with us, but their forces are in no hurry, and it's actually really smart. I wish in a battle like this that was so critical they weren't acting so smart, but that's just going to make it even harder for us. It's not like I want the enemy to lay down their arms, but it's going to be almost impossible if they approach this anything tactically in a correct manner. I mean, we're not going to be able to win the battle just by attacking these guys hand to hand. So we're going to push in as far as we can here. This is, I don't know, I'm literally making it up as we go, of course. I haven't done a lot of this in the past where we just try to brute our way over. The good thing is that some of these guys have extra hit points because of the nobles that are in their groups. You know, some of them have 250. My companions are in here wailing away trying to help. We've kind of burst through the bridge. Maybe we're going to be able to push on them. They're actually reforming. This is the perfect chance. All right, in we go. When the enemy's... Oh, now their infantry's coming up. When the enemy reforms, you want to attack wildly, aggressively, because a lot of their guys will be backpedaling. Their troops don't have a lot of unit cohesion, so we're going to aggressively attack here. Even though it's nasty infantry, these Battanian Fiend on their own are pretty good infantry. So I'm going to move guys off to the flank here, and we're going to join them, and hope that the enemy archers can't really get good line of sight. They're right over that ridge. We might have a brief moment here to attack their infantry vanguard, and it is a vanguard. Look at this shit. It's all tier 5. Fuck you. We're steamrolling them. Let's reset. I can't run over that ridge with these Fiend champs. They'll just get shot to pieces. They're very strong face to face with the enemy. You can see their archers are back there firing away. God, it's another good tactical decision. The computer, the AI is not typically very smart, but here they're acting in an exemplary manner. We're out of ammunition. It's almost like they know we're out of ammunition, and so their 400 or 500 archers are just going to sit back defensively. So I'm kind of forced here to hoping that the enemy will attack. Now they are the attackers in this battle. They attacked us, and that is critical for the element of initiative, and also they're required to attack us. But they've got a lot of archers, so they may not be in any hurry to come rushing across this bridge. I have experienced stuff like this in the past, just not in such a critical battle, right? When you're outnumbered 7-1 or whatever the fuck it is. I sure wish the enemy would just charge right into the laps of our Battanian Fiend champ tranche here. I've got about 10... Got a lot of javelins I can pick up. I've got about 10 companions and maybe 120 or 130 archers left. Most of them Battanian Fiend champs. And they are just sitting back. I've got 9,000 javelins and no one to throw them at. I see the arrows. Fuck, they're killing my guys. I might have to get my guys even further down the hill here. 120. Yeah, I've got like 120. Now I will get reinforcements soon. Oh, this javelin, I had it the wrong way. If you don't know that, you can use your javelins for weapons. I almost never do, of course, because my axe is so savage. They've got horse archers just sort of skirmishing, and they got fucking like 600 archers over there, and they're just gonna sit there and take pot shots at us. Again, it might be tactically correct, but man, that's frustrating. And for some reason, my javelins are going like right through guys. Yeah, they're just like picking us apart right now. It's almost like I'm playing a human AI, or a human intelligence. Of course, paramount to the battle is me staying upright. I'm down almost to half health already. If I get dropped in this battle, it's curtains, right? The AI is going to take over, and whatever we had, 1,500 against their, I don't know, fucking 10,000 or whatever fucking huge number, we're fucking toast. Now we have quality advantage of troops, but not right now. Like, the enemy has 10,000 troops, so they're going to have thousands of high-ranking troops. Maybe 3,000 or 4,000 troops. So we're talking 4 or 5 waves of elite troops, of Vanguard Ferris, you know, elite Manablions. I mean, this is a dire situation we're in. So I've got my guys in a tight ball here, and it does look like it's encouraging more enemy units to come over, but they're not really committing the main force. Now I also can't let them I can't just peel back 600 units and let them pour over, because if they pull over 600 units and get archers on our side, then we're also fucked. So I'm really sort of caught between two bad choices here. Okay, so they've got a bunch of archers trying to set up. Teach you fucking horse boys how to do this. Alright, so they're close enough. This is our opportunity here. These fucks they're about to face very angry, very impatient fucking Battanian Fiend champs. Now they're hammering us from the sides. We're in a really bad spot here. We have no choice but to attack, and we have no ammunition to exchange fire. I've basically got to wait for reinforcements before I can do anything tactically different with this group. It's a bunch of angry guys. Look, they all look like me with the big bear skin cloak, and we're just going to charge in here and take our anger out on some of these fucks. I can kind of help the side here and hold a shield up. I'm definitely blocking some shots, but that also means I'm not killing people. It's not a very effective exchange. Oh, reinforcements just popped in right across the way. All right, let's use these guys. Let's spread out. Archers. Where are the fucking archers? There's hardly any archers. Of course, your reinforcements come in almost random. I wish I had 80 or 100 archers over there, because I'd be able to immediately give them crossfire, and I don't. I've got like 20. Getting shot in the neck. Got them already down to half health. So the reinforcements are also, especially for infantry, are in a lousy spot. Like I have to effectively drag these guys around the corner before I can even use a lot of these guys. I did set up the two different archer branches. There was a horse archer branch, a horse archer division. And is that seriously 9? It's 9 archers they gave me. So the AI is conspiring here. We're gaining points in tactics for whatever the fuck that's worth. So I can at least start to concentrate our forces here. I've got some infantry now. I've got some units we can make some tactical decisions with, but we also have to back out here in the face of very angry enemy infantry. They're not paying me any attention though. That's a mistake. So I can't send my second cav in here. These guys are rushing up. I have them all in charge. So they're sort of countering so that we can get out. And the other nice thing is those are heavy horse. I'm going to be able to use them as a vanguard, as a shield wall, ahead of our other units here. These Battanian Fiend champs, it was 99 of them still. They're not all Battanian Fiend champs, but a lot of them are. Now you see all these guys. Some of these guys still have some anger left. So we're going to stretch out our two different groups here on both sides. God, they're still staying back. Which again is tactically smart. I can hear my guys getting shot. Bring my horse archers up here. They are playing this. Wow. I don't want to say frustrating again, but they're playing this in a very deliberate manner. It's almost like the AI learned from the last couple of bridge battle whippings. I think it is going to be time to roll up their flank though. With this heavy cav wall, I can have them leading and providing a big wall of shields, and then we can roll them up with the 8th Corps, 6th Corps, whatever's left of them, and then these Battanian Fiend champs and other high-level archers behind them. Basically using the heavy cav as a shield wall and leading the way so that our shock troops can pound the fuck out of them. Looking at their numbers, it is mostly archers still. Now obviously we're not going to be able to have a ranged battle across the valley here. If we have a ranged battle, across the bridge rather, if we have a ranged battle, we're going to lose. That's all there is to it. I mean, I might be able to milk a little bit of arrows. You've seen me do that also in other battles, where you effectively have them shoot your heavy cav lines, right? And the idea is basically that your troops will pick up all the arrows on the ground that they can. But in this situation, yeah, those guys are getting pounded up there as well. My horse archers are going to all be dead soon. In this situation, right, it's very difficult to pull that off. Like, I'm going to be taking arrows, the Battanian Fiend champs are going to be getting shot. Can't pick these up for some reason. I don't want to exchange it, no. Alright, well at least I got this meat shield in front here. We can start gathering some of these arrows. the enemy doesn't charge, though, I think we've got little choice but to make a charge of our own. The bottom line is they have right now the edge in ammunition. At the beginning of this battle, we had the edge, right? We had Britannian Fiend Champs, we had elite companion members raining down arrows on them, and so appropriately they charged. Well, in this situation now, look at how many fucking, not just arrows, they're like throwing 1,000 different axes and javelins at us. I mean, I'm going to be able to pick up a lot of these javelins and do some damage with that, but we have almost no arrows compared to them. So again, what I was saying though is they have the range advantage. They're almost playing like a human opponent would. A human opponent who knew that they had the range advantage, in other words, they knew they had more archers or more units with ammunition, they would do it exactly what they're doing. They're going to sit back and just sort of pick you off, soften you up slowly. So I'm going to try to pick up some of these javelins myself. Hopefully my units, any of my units that can pick up javelins will be in here. I see dead companion members around here. It's a grim scene. These archers are just getting shot. Now these horse archers, I don't think they can pick up arrows on the ground. There's a perk for companions. Yeah, a lot of these are bolts too. So if you don't have crossbow, your units can't even pick them up. And again, they're still not charging. They've got 500 fucking guys there, 600 guys there, and they won't charge. Why? Because they've got a lot of archers. Take out a few of them here. I mean, you don't even have to aim these shots. All I gotta do is just pick these javelins up and throw javelins into the air, and it's gonna hit some guy in the head. Fucking assholes. Now their archers are like halfway across the bridge there. To me, that's vulnerable. It's time to attack this fucking piece of shit archer group. So I'm sending the heavy cav to charge. Look how quick they're reacting. It really is almost like there's an upgraded AI right now. I haven't added any mods. So cav's in a shield wall here. They do have infantry right at the front here, but we're going to bring these shock troops up here and try to push our way through this. I mean, it looks murderous, right? It's just all tier 6, tier 5, fucking elite infantry. We've got no choice here, though. I don't have any more arrows. We're fucking desperate. Oh, you want to charge? You guys go ahead and charge. Please charge. In we go. Fuck you guys. It's time to work out our frustration on your faces. I've got heavy cav charging the way here. I'm going to drag the 6th and 8th Corps around to the enemy's left flank, our right flank, and just try to crimp in on the enemy. Sometimes you can get them to panic and or reform in situations like this, and you can cause massive damage. The screen is all green right now. I got to get this right flank covered up. Get these guys in here. I've got some horse archers I can stick at the back here. I should probably, I think I'll charge with them. We can get archers on this right flank. Any of them that don't have ammunition, they'll be charging. I'll give them the attack command. Look how many archers they have. In you go. Get around that corner. So I need these shock troops, my 8th and 5th Corps in here fighting. Get archers on the flank here. They're doing almost exactly what I want. They're crimping into a tight ball, which is death for them. We're going to encircle this and kill as many guys as we can. Fuck you guys. They're all elite. All of these guys are tier 5. The whole fucking mass of them. Master Archer, Master Archer. They all look uniform. They're all wearing the same stupid fucking purple and orange. Oh yeah, yeah, we've completely wrapped up their flank. This enemy's now encircled. Just like in real life, an encircled enemy is panicking. They're fucking trying to flee. That wall of iron in front of them, that heavy horse, did exactly what I wanted it to. It basically held the enemy in place for our shock troops to get to their soft troops on the side. Time to fucking rip some limbs off here. I mean, you're getting kills. These guys are not routing. They're just reforming. So they're still swinging their weapons at our guys. We're taking losses. They've still got nasty infantry here too. But that was at least a positive tactical victory for us there. I can't let this get too carried away here, though. I can't just charge them across the whole screen. I mean, I'm down to 40 shock units. We're actually needing reinforcements here soon. Time to reform and maybe even regroup across the river. And that right there kind of shows you why they're being hesitant to charge, right? They came face to face with our juggernaut forces here, shock troops, 8th Corps, and heavy cav, and it was fucking steamroller city. Yeah, look at them, still playing defensive. These are the attackers, and they're just sitting back. So we peel back. I'm going to use my 8th Corps here, which is now a lot of companion members and heavy cav. Most of these are noble units. I'm going to use these guys effectively to screen and shield while we get out of here. Don't want you guys shooting. These guys shooting, they're not going to... I need them concentrating their fire. The enemy's still not charging. Our enemy today is calculated.
Move! Form a shield wall! Stand shoulder to shoulder!
So we're getting our cav out of there. They've done their job. They allowed us to retreat in good order.
Form a line!
We'll send our units again over this ridge. If the enemy doesn't attack and won't cross this bridge, two things are going to happen. First, I'm going to rage at my PC. And two, we're going to lose. They have 3, 4, maybe 5 times the troops that we have. 600, 700 troops, and we've got 100, 120 maybe. Might have a few guys that have the ammunition left, so we'll set them up here on the ridge. They're coming up, but they don't look like they want to cross the bridge again. 415 archers, that's why. I mean, we can have a ranged exchange here, but I'm probably going to be canceling this right away. Look how many bolts are flying in on us. And the worst part is that they have a lot of crossbow. We don't have any crossbow, or at least I haven't seen any. And so those guys can't pick up that ammunition. There's a few arrows coming in there, but for the most part, these guys are just getting shot to pieces. We're going to have to pull them over this ridge. They are sending units, but they're sending over cav. It's exactly what a human opponent would do. They would skirmish with horse archers and send cav just sort of exploring, knowing that they could retreat. Well, in this case, we're not going to let these guys retreat. I sent my 8th Corps right behind them, and we cut off their fucking retreat. So just like a human opponent, they can use all the tactics they want. We're still going to adjust. We're still going to get victories in this battle. Fucking bitches. None of you bitches are getting out. We might roll a few of your heads across the bridge once we're done with you, but none of you are making it out alive.
Troops, form a line! Infantry, form a shield wall!
Bastards. I've been doing some of these historical analog battles, effectively battles in Bannerlord that, you know, have a quasi-parallel to actual history. I'm using these guys, by the way, just as a shield, as an arrow bait ball. I'm having it's a line of heavy infantry. Look at how many, most of those are bolts, but some of those are arrows. I'm just having those guys stand there, shields up, you know, with their heavy armor, absorbing whatever arrows they can, and then we're going to try to pick up as many arrows as we can from that big mess. But speaking of historical analogs, my campaign lately has felt a lot like Napoleon's sort of career and late career campaign against all the coalitions. When I edit these videos at a later point, I will probably consider doing some historical analogs with some of these videos, because the parallels are striking. First, just like Napoleon, well, in my situation it's voluntary, but in his situation he was fighting all of Europe. By 1808, 1809, technically he had allies, but all they were really was they were conquered. These guys got to get these guys spread out. They were conquered former enemies that were sort of grudgingly assisting him. Like when he invaded Russia in 1812, he had troops from Austria. He had all kinds of troops that were like 4 years ago, they were enemies of his. And these troops, these countries were effectively assisting him because they had no choice, right? They were now sort of part of the French Empire, and Napoleon was saying, well, hey, you know, this is part of peace. You want peace with us? You've got to give us troops to help fight this war. But in our situation here, we're fighting the whole map of Calradia. We're fighting these 8 different kingdoms, and at this stage, we're in a desperate state. In 1812, 1813, Napoleon's empire was shrinking to the point where things were becoming very, very desperate. In fact, he was losing his ability to negotiate. The allies, or the enemies that were allied against him, were not really interested in negotiating as much anymore because they knew that the tide had turned. After his disastrous retreat and failure of Russia, where he lost a significant part of his main army, the enemies, they realized that Napoleon was on the ropes. Before the disastrous invasion of Russia, Napoleon really did have an aura of invincibility. His enemies all across Europe, including many of the kings that were basically allied against him, were terrified of him. They kind of felt like he was unbeatable in battle. So the last thing they were going to do is, of course, offer generous terms to him after the 1812 disaster and some of his early difficult battles in 1813. They just weren't having any more with Napoleon. They were through. He might have wanted peace, but most people just felt he wanted peace so he could attack later. They finally had him in a bad position after 1812. So the Allies were intent on trying to take Napoleon out. Well, I'm in a similar situation. Granted, it is voluntary. Anytime I want in this campaign, I can just, people asked a couple times, well, can your campaign go on? Of course, I can just sue for peace. And we've got a huge amount of gold. I could just pay all these kingdoms to fuck off, give me peace for a while, let them fight each other, and we could very slowly fight kingdoms 1 or 2 at a time and make a full comeback. I have no doubt of that. That's not a challenge. Anybody who's played Bannerlord a lot, like I have, conquering the map is sort of a formality. Once you get the snowball effect going, it's not difficult. But the whole point of this campaign was to have an extraordinarily difficult campaign. Halfway through this campaign, I had gotten to the stage where it was clear the snowball effect was occurring. We had like 30 or 40 family members. We had 7, 8 cities, 14, 15 castles, something like that, like a third of the map. And I was at war with 2 or 3 different countries, and I was able to juggle them pretty easily. So I just decided, fuck it, let's have a true challenge here. I declared war on everybody except Sturgia, and ever since then it's been kind of a non-stop onslaught of ever-growing larger battles. These fucks just won't attack. Look at them just standing there. Ever larger growing battles. And of course now we're to the stage where I've also declared war on Sturgia because I was able to juggle 7 kingdoms. So I figured, hey, let's just try fighting everybody. And now that we're at war against everybody, all other 8 kingdoms, we've finally gotten to the point, just like Napoleon, where we're on the ropes, and the enemy kind of knows that we're dazed, right? It's coming in for the knockout punch, and that's kind of what this battle feels like. Even the way they're fighting it. When the allies that were fighting against Napoleon finally did come to grips with him, it was at a battle. It's called the Battle of Leipzig. It's this city. I think it's modern-day Germany. And Napoleon had a very large force there, and the allies, the enemies of Napoleon, converged a huge force there. In fact, it was really 4 or 5 different major armies. It was Russians, it was Prussians, there was English forces, there was even one of his former marshals, Bernadotte. There was this huge force, basically 2 or 2.5 times the size of Napoleon's force. And, I know I'm spoiling it for anybody who's a history buff who hasn't gotten to that stage. Napoleon eventually lost the battle. Right, he lost the Battle of Leipzig. It took 3 days. Just like this, it was kind of a grueling affair. And the Allies, the enemies of Napoleon, very slow. Look at these fucking guys coming over 2 at a time. They very slowly attacked Napoleon. It was a methodical, well thought out, well planned approach, because by this stage, they knew that Napoleon was too great a war commander. They couldn't make any mistakes. They had to attack him with far superior numbers and make very few or no mistakes to have any chance of winning. And of course, that's precisely what they did. They just leaned on him, applied brute force, attacked him from all different sides. Napoleon was static, and you know what I think of static troops, right? Static troops are dead troops. Napoleon even hated having static positions, but he was forced into that position by being surrounded. So they've tried to cross the bridge here. I know we've had a little intermission there while they skirmished with us. Hopefully we didn't lose too many people watching. But we're charging now. They're trying to spread out units. Very bad decision. So I sent our heavy cav right over that ridge in a quick, ferocious charge. And now we're charging in here with our shock troops, 8th Corps, and infantry. In we go. And they are trying to reform. It's almost like the enemy made a decision they were going to come over, and then they panicked halfway over. Now they're a big fishball on the bridge. It's a huge fishball, right? This is almost like a barracuda seeing a whole bunch of great whites together, thinking, "Hey, this is an easy dinner here. All we got to do is kill 10 great whites," right? So this is not an easy decision here. It's not an easy battle, but we have no choice in this fight but to gut it out. We're just gonna fly in here like maniacs, cut off some heads, and do our damnedest to inflict pain. Getting surrounded here. It's all elite troops yet, too. They haven't had any. There hasn't been a single tier 4 troop on the enemy side. We're taking serious losses. In fact, they're overrunning some of our positions. I see a few of my companions who are fighting to the last. Archers up here are getting smoked. This position is actually no longer tenable. We got effectively overran. Again, just like the Barracuda trying to take on 10 great whites, we became dinner. 38 archers. They got a few guys in there that are just sort of fighting, skirmishing. I've got to reform with these reinforcements here. Try to get as many of those guys out of there as I can and come up with a new tactical plan here. I might be able to have those units hold them up a little while we come in from this left flank. Problem is it's downhill. I don't want to be positioned downhill unless there's a sharp ridge there where we can shoot them as they come over. This fucking rainbow group of master archers. I think these are all Asterai troops. The colors are kind of confusing. There's some pink. I'm not sure if that's Asterai or not, but whatever they are, they got a fuckload of them. And we've got 140. We've got 150 troops fighting against the war. Look, it's all palace guards just wailing on our cavalry. Fuck you. All right, let's reform here around the corner. The one thing I'm not going to do in this battle is fucking give up. The enemy's not going to give us any quarter. They're just going to capture us all. So we're going to fucking cut off as many of their heads as we can. We're going to fight to the last man. We're going to be like the Japanese at Okinawa. I'm going to use this ridge here. I've got a decent archer tranche. It's not nearly as many as I'd like. I think a lot got killed just reforming there. Of course, a lot of them were tied up with the enemy while we were retreating. The thunder is still crackling. It does make for a great cinematic scene here. It'd be better, though, if they weren't playing like fucking cowards. They outnumber us 7-1, and they're just going to shoot at us.
Raise your shields!
I've got a bunch of shock troops here. We'll protect them with the main line of infantry. If you use units in shield wall that are shock troops, combined with shield units, the AI does a pretty good job of putting shock troops behind the shield wall. And that's optimal, right? You want those guys protected, and then once the battle starts, those guys can then rip in here. Look at these fucking guys. What are you fucking waiting for me to attack you? You attacked me, motherfuckers. I hear arrows flying over our heads. It's like they have 50 archers that have line of sight, so they're just gonna sit there. I see movement now. Hard to miss. There's so fucking many of them. They're not sneaking up on us. 500. They've only got about 500 troops on the field right now, so they're waiting for reinforcements as well. If they come into that valley, we may have a chance to drive in on them here. Is that heavy cav? They also have heavy cav. That's going to make it harder. We're out of Fiend champs. There's no more elite shock troops. You only have so many in an army like this. It's been years since we consistently held some of the citadels where the Britannian Fiend line, where they spawn, right, and you get them as troops in your castles. We haven't been able to hold those now for multiple years of game time, and so we were down to like this last 80 or 100 Britannian Fiend champs, and all those guys are already dropped. Oh, you guys want to come over? Please come over. They come over. This is going to be the Peekaboo Ridge. Right, they're going to get shot full of arrows. They're being very cagey though. I'm down to a fraction of health now. I am wearing my best armor. I was lucky I changed out my equipment a couple of fights ago, because otherwise I don't think the game would have... The way they ambushed us, it's like it didn't allow us to do it. We weren't allowed to upgrade troops, recruit prisoners, etc. These archers aren't shooting. I wonder if they're all out of ammunition too. We got a standoff here, and of course they outnumber us like 3 or 4 to 1. We fucking charge. I still see some shooting. In go the cav. This front line of infantry. If I can get some of these archers to the side, maybe, just maybe, they can do some damage. I don't want to charge over too hard though. Oh, they're stretching guys out to shoot down there. That's not good. Let's move our cav division over there to cover those archers. Yeah, they're shooting all right. Our archers should have ammunition. Most of those guys have been on hold fire, so those guys should be able to do some damage. Ultimately, what I want is them to come over this ridge. These guys should be guys that our archers could shoot now. I don't know why I don't see bolts coming in on them. I see. There we go. That's better. See you in hell. Our cav is causing some problems for them. They're getting kills too, though. Alright, they're down in this valley. It's time to try to make a rush. This is suicidal. We're desperate in this battle. There's going to be a lot of things that seem suicidal to you. These are not normal tactics. Don't try this at home. I don't recommend you try to attack 9,000 whatever the fuck with your 1,500. This is not a recommended strategy for success. But in we fucking go. They have a huge line of heavy infantry back there too. They're just standing back. It's like they're waiting to charge. Alright, archers are now sent in. Infantry is now sent in. I don't actually see any of my companions at this stage. We are getting a lot of kills here. The enemy's sort of reforming their lines. We've got heavy cav charging it, but I have no support. I'm basically by myself here. The infantry is getting a lot of kills. When I glance up in the corner, I see a lot of my infantry driving down this hill. The one advantage we do have here is we're moving downhill, so they're doing more damage as they come downhill. Still all elite troops. Sending the cav right into their archers. Keep them moving. I'm not going to let them get a shot off here. All these guys, they're taking like 3 hits too. You're dead. We've driven all the way over the ridge now. Our archers are now shooting down into the valley. Got those archers over there charging. And we've chased these guys out of here, it looks like. Oh, I got reinforcements at just the right time. behead some more fucks here as they try to retreat. Gotta make hay when these guys are trying to retreat like this. Almost frantic to do so, like desperate. Bringing in the cab wall behind me. Yeah, here come the reinforcements. That's bad. 10,000 horse archers. Kill them all! My infantry's in pursuit. It's still something of a feat that with our 140, 130 men, we were able to push back that large force. Push them back, cause them to reform, killed a lot of them. Got a nice flank on them, and that heavy cav wall, moving it around, keeping their archers distracted, interrupted, did wonders. So it feels like I'm charging their whole empire. I'm trying to get my archers on that hill as fast as I can so that they can start getting some shots off. I actually see them shooting at us already. That's bad. 65. Now they got 240 archers. That's more troops than we have total by a long ways. So look at it, they're just raining in arrows on us too. These cavalry are trying to come across? I don't think so, motherfuckers. You're getting axed. As crazy as it sounds, we're gonna have to get aggressive here and charge across. Give me your horse. A horse, a horse, a kingdom for my horse. Now they're starting to do some good damage. We do have elevation, so they're able to shoot further. We do have really good archers. Probably most of those guys are tier 5. We're out of Fiend champs. I wish I had another couple dozen Fiend champs. This is desperation also. I don't recommend this. All I'm trying to do is try to keep their archers from all shooting at the same time. They've got, look, you can see, it's 116 versus 230. I mean, of course, we're outnumbered in every single area. Their infantry's now coming across. These archers here, if these guys are all shooting, we're in trouble. And of course, it's all tier 5 archers. Their infantry's pouring across now. I've got infantry right in the face of them though, and my archers on the far side there are going to be able to shoot them. I might be trapped now. There's a huge amount of troops on the bridge. I mean, it's not the worst place to be in because I can cause some carnage, but I'm also very close to being dropped. Good crossbow to the shoulder or something like that right now, and down I go. Have to go around. I do have a good setup at least. I'm not desperate to get back there in a hurry. I mean, of course, I always want to get back into the battle quickly. But I've got infantry on that bridge charging in shield wall. I've got archers raining death on the hill. And it looks like my heavy cav division dissolved. But I had my heavy cav division assisting the infantry. Yeah, 160. You know, 160 versus whatever they have, 700. No problem. If I'm using the parallel to the Battle of Leipzig, there is another ironic parallel, and that's the bridge. In the Battle of Leipzig on day 3, Napoleon realized by this stage that the battle was lost and was trying to retreat as many troops as he could, trying to get these troops back to France, again, reform the armies. what I've done here now is I've told these archers, by the way, to charge. That means any of the guys without arrows, the crossbowmen mostly, they will now charge and become foot troops on the bridge here. Join my dwindling infantry forces, 22 guys. I might even have to retreat here. I'm gonna get reinforcements soon. When you fight big battles like this, you'll get a feel for it, and here they come. They just poured in. So I just pulled those archers down the hill. A lot of those guys should be able to make it out. You need to react quick in situations like this, because this situation, I can almost guarantee you the enemy's going to charge over that bridge. Anyways, to finish the point, so the Battle of Leipzig, day 3, when Napoleon decided to retreat his troops, he had engineers rig a bunch of explosives to a major bridge that he was retreating over. And of course, he gave orders for it to be blown up after his troops and his supply wagons and whatnot, his baggage train had made it across. Well, the battle was chaotic, as the enemies, the enemies of Napoleon, the allies, however you want to call it, the enemy alliance, fighting Napoleon, England, Prussia, Russia, a bunch of other countries, they pursued, and it was a very messy retreat. I mean, they were retreating into the town of Leipzig. The town is on fire. It was chaos, and basically orders got mixed up, and the person who was in charge of effectively of detonating the bridge, it kept getting delegated down to a lower level guy. This guy delegated it to some captain, who delegated it to some lieutenant, and the next thing you know, some guy in panic, the accounts are not certain, but it seems like in somewhat panic, someone effectively detonated the bridge way too ahead of time. And when he did this, it caused massive loss of life, but also cut off a huge amount of the French that were still trying to retreat. The bridge loss ended up leaving something like 30 or 40,000, I think, French that were effectively captured at the end of the battle, of course, because they couldn't get across the bridge. Some, of course, tried to swim. There were guys who drowned. Some famous marshals and generals actually drowned. I wonder if we're going to drown at the end of this battle. This battle, it feels like we're going to have to swim over the bridge to escape. At least we have a large archer corps now. We have 180 guys that I've been able to reform down on the other side of this ridge, but I have very few infantry. So I'm going to spread these guys out again. We're going to do effectively a ridge defense here, trying to spread these infantry out. It keeps wanting me to attack people. So I've got 58 hardy infantry. The enemy infantry is like right in the face of us here. Fuck you guys. Hey, you guys better fucking get out of here. Well, Napoleon had the option of retreat. In this instance, we don't. We were attacked. This enemy's, I don't know what it was. I'd never seen it before, an ambush like that, where they just instantaneously broke away from the keep. And before I could even see what was going on, it'll be very interesting, actually, to go back and watch that. It was a split second. I was coming up to approach them, and then the next thing I know, some guy's like, "Hey, we've got you trapped." It was almost like a brilliantly planned trap. I don't know quite how it happened, but here we are. We're in this fix. I want these archers shooting. They have a bunch of heavy cav right here. I want our archers pounding these cav. They've got a lot of shields, though. A lot of these bolts are finding a piece of wood instead of flesh. And we have no cav. We have very little tactical options here, right? I've got 58 infantry and 170 archers against a huge enemy force of elite troops. And they have mixed units. They have cav, they have horse archers, they have archers, they have fucking skirmishers. They've got it all. I've got a javelin. Let's do it. Look at, they've got 140 fucking horse archers. This is not tenable. I'm not gonna be able to sit here. They're just raking us from the side. Now we're exchanging fire. I definitely see horse archers being shot off their horses. That doesn't help me killing my own guys. And of course I can't do much about the horse archers, right? I don't have anybody to counter them. I'm one guy. I mean, at some point I will be just flying around after these horse archers. But right now, it's just an archer exchange and hope that they don't charge behind us here. Now, a good human opponent, they would charge like right now, right? Their infantry would pour over the hill, maybe 2 or 3 different flanks, and then they would come in with archers on a flank too and just absolutely destroy us, right? Fortunately, I guess I better not speak too soon. Fortunately, though, they're not that brilliant. It's not Chat GPT. We finally got some of these guys to clear out just by cutting off some of their limbs. Fucking Last Samurai music playing in the background. It feels like a final stand. It's not very historically accurate, but Last Samurai is a great movie. If you've never seen it, even if you hate Tom Cruise, go watch it. It's a great fucking combat movie. These guys are raking these horses with pretty good broadsides. It's still a problem though. I've still got a huge enemy force over that ridge, and they seem impenetrable. They've got a big line of shield walls right at the top of the ridge, and we're at this stage we're probably running out of ammunition. Now we're probably going to be down to a charge again. When you're in huge battles like this and they don't give you reinforcements, you have very few options. If we can come around maybe to a flank here, we might be able to roll up a flank and do some good damage. But again, we're charging a force that's 3 times our side. I gotta wait for this archer group to come up, and we're gonna try to charge. Again, don't try this at home. I'm not doing this because it's the best tactic. I'm doing this because I have no choice. I've got a sliver of health. I'm over here. You guys don't see me. Fucking asshole. Hit my fucking horse. Alright, down the hill we go. Archers charging. Look how slow they're moving. I wish I could yell to them, sprint! These guys are trying to shoot. That's even worse. I don't need them shooting unless they're over the hill. Get the fuck down there. I have to just charge in recklessly here. If I get dropped, I get dropped. That's all there is to it. No fucking guts, no glory. What is the quote from Lord of the Rings? The king of the world here got getting pounded with arrows. If this is going to be our end, we're going to make such an end to it that they're going to be singing songs about it. We're not going down like a bitch. We're going out swinging. We're fucking ripping legs off. Fuck you. You fucks. We're gonna go out angry. We're gonna go out swinging. Bringing archers up here. Hopefully they can get a little bit of an advantage both in archer elevation, but also just the fact that the enemy's sort of squeezed into this little corridor. In a perfect world, we'd get reinforcements on the other side over there. I mean, they've been coming in over there, so if I'm really lucky, the system will give me reinforcements right on the other side of the enemy. I might even be able to get them to reform, at which stage, I don't know what they'll do. I just got reinforcements in. It's not a good situation, though. I've got archers. I don't even know what to do. Let's see. Let's have everybody hold ground, spread out, and fire, and have this infantry come towards us and charge. It's a very bad situation, but I think that group of commands will do the best possible result. We're now holding this hill with like 40 or 50 archers, while reinforcements come in the other way. Time to join the fray. Here's your tactics for this stage of the battle. Kill them all. Die, you bastard! This motherfucker attacking us from behind. Off your horse, noble. Fucking assholes. I wonder if I can join my troops on the other side over there. I'm almost to the point where I have to start commanding at a distance. Those infantry are plowing in there. We fucking attack. No fucking guts, no glory. In we go. Fuck it. Motherfuckers. And you're charging, we charge. Trying to spread out their archers? Fuck that. Spread out your body parts after you're dismembered, you fucks. Spread out on this elevated hill here to just rain broadsides on them. More enemy reinforcements coming over this hill. That's a lot. This last bit of infantry, though, we're going to be able to pop these guys up. This is going to be a massacre.
Raise your shield, footmen!